Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, this is a Sunday, April 21st, 2019. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at what's going on today. And first thing, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price, 52.25. Bitcoin price hasn't moved that much. Okay, now it's 52.31. It's moving upwards a little bit now at this point. Now, we took a little bit of a decline, not much. It's still staying up above $5,000. What I'm actually expecting for the next little while is Bitcoin to range probably between 4,000 and 6,000. Along in there, more or less. That's what I call going sideways. I expect it to go sideways for a while. How long? It'll probably go sideways. To explain how long to you it'll probably go sideways. It'll probably go sideways for the upcoming, I'm expecting it actually to go sideways for quite a long period of time. Long enough where you guys are going to start to get bored with it. You're going to start to get really bored with it going sideways. This is what I'm expecting. And one of these mornings you're going to wake up and you're going to expect to look and see the same old thing of it going sideways, and it's going to be shooting up. Some morning, like it might be a week from now, it might be a month from now, it might be 6 months from now even. But one of these mornings you're going to wake up and it's going to take off. But until then, it's going to range probably between $4,000 and $6,000. It's going to give you ample opportunity probably to buy in. And if you're buying in small increments, you can establish some coin in the next little while, before this next big hike in price is probably coming. To be really honest with you guys, I'm not really expecting it to start and get really going hot until they're starting to get forced into something like a situation like quantitative easing 4. You know? Now, everybody watches the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And the thing about that is that's how they mark the economy. In truth, the Dow Jones doesn't have a whole lot to do with the economy in general, but somehow it's become a marker for everyone. Everyone says, oh, the economy's doing good if the stock market is up. There's really no real correlation between the stock market and the general economy, because what they've done is they've actually manipulated this market through things like corporate buybacks, the stock market. But that's the marker that they judge everything by. Now, if that marker starts to fall, the stock market, this is going to put pressure on them to lower interest rates or go into a new round of quantitative easing. Quantitative tightening, they've already started to express concerns that they're going to taper that program back. Now, let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations here for a minute. And we've seen a decline in the altcoins. We were up to $180 billion market cap. Now we're dropped back to $176 billion. Bitcoin dominance of 52.8%. Now, you notice how that Bitcoin dominance went up? It went up from around 52% to 52.8%. This is because a lot of the altcoins fell out of bed a little bit. Now we can see the decline on the end of the chart here. If I focus in on that so you can actually see, you can see the declines in these altcoins. But you can see on the very tail end of this decline, you can see they've stopped falling now at this point. Basically, this is a movement where a lot of people, some of the people anyway, have moved from the altcoins back into Bitcoin again this morning. It's not a big move. It's nothing, I don't think it's anything really to get too much excited about. But anyway, that's what's happening. Now we're going to look at this article right here. And the article is entitled, let me move my chart back over. Here's what will trigger the next mammoth Bitcoin rally. Now, I don't completely buy into that, but I could see this becoming a contributing factor to the next Bitcoin rally. I think that's the world economy, the recession that we're facing, and the cure by the world's central banks for that recession that's going to trigger the next mammoth rally. But this is also going to be a contributing factor. And what he goes on to talk about here is the reason why the elderly in the United States of America are not really investing in Bitcoin right now. It's not started yet. If you take a look at this article, what it says is about the elderly. Let me see. He gives the percentages here. He says that there's 47.8 million retirees in the United States. So he says it's a huge market, and yes, it is. 56% of the respondents said that they are aware of the existence of Bitcoin, but have not considered investing in it. 32.9% have said that they are not aware of the asset class. Well, those are big numbers. 56% and 32%. You're getting up near 90%. Here's the thing. So 90% of the seniors out there are completely, basically ignoring Bitcoin as an asset class. An awful lot of the money now in the United States is from these people who lived in generations, previous generations, who were able to save. They were able to buy a home. They were able to have money in the bank, and they still have money in the bank. Some of them are grandparents, and their grandkids are living in their basement because they have money and their grandkids don't. The younger generation doesn't have much available money to spend. Seniors, an awful lot of them, have actual money in the bank. Excuse me. But what you see here is this vast amount of seniors, basically an army of them, 48.7 million retirees in the United States, and a lot of them have money. They have savings. They're not in this asset class. Not yet. Not yet. And he goes on to talk in this article about the reasons why. He says that the retirees here are always interested in alternative assets that can help them diversify their portfolio against market fluctuations. And he goes on to list the reasons why these retirees are actually not moving into Bitcoin quite yet. All of this focuses on the whole factor of quite yet. It's not quite available for them yet. It's not quite there yet. But when it does get there, and it will, because it's progressing toward that, you can bet your bottom dollar that when these retirees start to buy in, when they do finally get the technology to the point where it's easy for these retirees to actually come in and buy. In other words, he says here, quote, Bitcoin does not have a good market structure. Not yet. But it's working its way there. And by the time they're in there and they're starting to buy this 47 million retirees, they're not going to be buying in at these prices. But that's not going to stop them. I don't know. Heaven forbid they might start buying in when Bitcoin's like $25,000 or $30,000. Right? So they'll be paying a lot more than if they started buying in now. But they will start buying in at a certain point. And you got 50 million of them. And they all got a lot of money in the bank. Think about this for a minute. Okay, you got 50 million of these retirees. An awful lot of them got, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in the bank of money that they can invest. Free to invest with. Well, 50 million people, 21 million Bitcoins, right now at $5,000 a piece, would be chicken scratch for them. They could buy every Bitcoin on earth. Right now, these retirees in the United States, 50 million of them. Can you see the potential, And by the time they start buying in, the whole rest of the world's going to be buying in. So this mammoth Bitcoin rally that they're talking about could be something bigger than we could ever expect, Quite seriously. Let's take a look now at blockchain money transfer speeds. It's putting the legacy system to shame. Now, if you don't know what the legacy system is, the legacy system is the system that's in place now to transfer money around the world. It's things like Western Union. Most of you have heard of Western Union or MoneyGram. These big companies that transfer money, they take a big cut of your money. Generally they take a while to get it there, and they have all these regulations and stuff, because they have to fit in. Well, here's the thing. This is called the global remittance system. Now, in 2017, they did $613 billion of global remittance. $613 billion they moved. Transactions. It's massive, this industry. Now, it's a growing industry because in 2017 they did $613 billion, but in 2016 they did $573 billion. So you see it's growing. It's actually a growing industry too. Well, this blockchain industry of moving money, the new blockchain system of moving money, transfers the money 388 times faster. And it's able to transfer the money 127 times cheaper. What does this mean for the people on the other end who are receiving the money? When we go down here to the bottom of the article, it says, lastly, the cost of savings means that the recipients actually receive more money in comparison to the same amounts transacted through the traditional financial system. This means that the recipients have more funds at their disposal and are more likely to be able to improve the quality of their lives. Now, they're starting to use these systems already, these new remittance systems. And places in Africa are using them, places all around the world starting to use them. This is going to grow enormously fast because picture if you got some guy in Africa and he's got his wife in America and she's been sending him $1,000 every month. So she decides to go with this system, okay? So she sends him his $1,000. Well, before he used to receive $950 of that money, and the remittance company kept $50, right? Now all of a sudden she sends it to him, and he receives $980, and he gets it even faster. He's going to go out and tell all of his friends in that African community, hey, you know what? I'm using this new, and I'm getting more money. And they're going to say, well, we're receiving money too from our relatives. And the next thing you know, word's going to spread. And the next thing you know, the Western Union's going to be starting to suffer huge amounts of people that aren't using them anymore. They're going to have to close offices. They're going to have to go on new ad campaigns. Use Western Union, make new songs and stuff. Western Union's the greatest. Use Western Union, stuff like that, to try to keep up. And the thing is even doing all of that, the business is going to start shifting over into the cryptocurrencies. They're able to do it faster and more effectively. This is going to become a wave in the end. It's going to put these companies out of business ultimately in the end. Their brick and mortar shops that they have in all these countries around the earth where people collect the money, you'll see a new brick and mortar shop open up that works on blockchain technology. And they'll close all the other offices. And everybody will start using the blockchain technology to send money. We're making a transition here from the old legacy financial system into a new, quicker, faster financial system that runs on blockchain. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this report, and we'll catch you again very, very soon. And make sure you give me a thumbs up, and bye-bye, guys.